Hi guys, I'm a forester here. Today we're going to take a look at what I think is the prettiest large knife on the market. That's my opinion at least. The Benchmade Crooked River. If knives were females, the Crooked River would be the BBW of the knife world. Now I wanted to buy it a year ago when I first saw it, but I had just bought a series of large tactical knives and I decided to concentrate on smaller knives in 2016, kind of like this Danny Fantoni Dweller. Now that's a beautiful knife in its own right. Much smaller than the Crooked River. It was a long wait, but when 2017 came around, I didn't delay in buying the Crooked River. Let me show you the box that it came in, and it's part of Benchmade's Hunt series of knives. This is the first knife in the Hunt series that I've purchased. I bought it from Sportsman's Warehouse. It's a local store that actually had a better price than online sources. And I enjoy supporting local brick and mortar businesses and especially talking knives with the young man behind the counter. Now this is one of Benchmade's Blue Class knives and it's model 15080-2. I just like the name Crooked River though. Inside you get the knife, you also get a Benchmade silky sack and some literature to read. And I actually got that literature out, read it, and there's some good information on there. Now there are plenty of reviews of the Crooked River by now, so I'm not going to go into a lot of the detail, the typical details that people go over. Instead, I'm going to talk about the important stuff to me. Why I bought the knife, how I use it, and how it compares to the competition. And the main reason I bought this knife was for its looks. Like I say, it's the best looking large knife on the market. Now, what about the large Sebenza, you might say? Well, I just happen to have one here, and let's compare it to the Crooked River. Compared to the Crooked River, the Sebenza might not even be considered a large knife. Oh, wait a minute, is that my small Sebenza? No, just kidding. The Sebenza is a good-looking knife, but there's something about the Crooked River that just speaks to me. Yes, I like the orange bling. The burnt orange pivot collar and the Clemson orange G10 backspacer really make it stand out in the crowd. Now I understand if orange isn't everybody's thing. In fact, I'm glad it isn't. Once you get this knife in your hand, you'll be surprised at how large it really is. Maybe shocked. You saw that it dwarfed my large Sebenza. Well, let me show it against the largest knife that I own, my Hinderer XM24. Now, at 9 1/4 inches long, the Crooked River is actually 1/8 of an inch longer than the XM24. The cutting edge of the blade on the Crooked River is 3/8 of an inch longer than the XM24. As I said, this is a large knife. It's a stable knife in my hands, primarily due, I think, to the thickness of these handle scales at just over 1/2 inch wide. Now, I have large hands, and a large knife just feels much better in my hands. A smaller knife, like this Fantoni, can get lost in my hands at times. Because it is a larger knife though, it's fairly heavy at 5.4 ounces. The steel liners are milled out, as I think maybe you can see, and these bolsters are made of a hardened aluminum to lessen the weight of the knife. Now the Hinderer is a couple of ounces heavier and I don't mind carrying it, so the Crooked River is comfortable in my pocket. For me, the Crooked River is the best looking tactical knife that I carry. And yes, I carry it as a tactical knife for self-defense. It's secure in my hand with this finger choil below and this recessed jimping above. The 4-inch clip point blade definitely has the reach, and it has a great balance of belly below and a sharp tip to do any type of cutting. Now the axis lock deploys beautifully right out of box, which brings me to my final point that I want to talk about. What the heck is diamond wood? As a forester, I prefer wood handle scales, but what kind of wood is this? The look of the wood grain reminded me of plywood, but I didn't see any layers in the cross section. See if you do. I don't think you can, but looking around online for some information, I discovered that this is plywood, but there's 29 layers per inch. No wonder I can't see them. They're impregnated with a resin which gives it a dark color, and they're definitely stable and waterproof to boot. I'd prefer solid wood handles, but hey, they are a wood product. For my final point, let's see how sharp it is. If you watched my Starbucks cut the card video, you know that I may have abused this knife trying to cut a Starbucks gift card. Well, I haven't touched up the blade at all since that video, so let's see how sharp it is. I don't think it needs to be any sharper. I don't think I hurt the blade at all with that video. Well guys, I can't recommend this knife enough. If you're into a good looking plus size knife, the Crooked River is for you. Y'all take care.